What's up, guys and gals? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for the latest chapter of Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega, chapter 307, entitled Rising Dragon, Touch of Death. And this chapter pretty much goes exactly as everyone should expect it to go. Raian absolutely dominates, especially in a 1v1 against Ryuki, and absolutely destroys him in less than one chapter. Yep. He manages to get one half a strike in, this new technique, the Rising Dragon Touch of Death from the Long Min style, like literally the entire build-up, you know, of them training and stuff like that, like learning this ancient style, the one that was able to touch the connector and stuff like that. If we can master those techniques, we might have a shot at actually getting close to Shen or damaging Shen and stuff like that. And he kind of does, but Raian is not even trying. So, I mean, you know, and that's acknowledged like multiple times in the chapter. Basically, so Raian just goes forth and starts just, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, on Ryuki. Like, doesn't care about the guards, doesn't care about landing a clean blow or playing any games. He's just brawling. He's literally just slamming and brawling and stuff like that. And Ryuki immediately notices that and says, he's not even taking me seriously. He's just wailing on me because he knows he can. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. So he starts using the Koi style with Rakasha's soul and stuff like that, kicking up a little bit of dirt and that kind of idea. I guess that was supposed to do something, I don't know. But anyways, Raian's like, I'm not falling for this shit. Then it's air rendering from the Gao style and stuff like that. Koga with his fist size can't imagine the fact that not only did he jump from Rakasha's soul into this air rendering, he manages to catch the leg that should have struck him, plus punch him mid-air. And it's just like, yeah, you guys are outmatched completely. And he's not even trying, you know, like Raian's not even trying here. He completely unloads on him, throws him to the wall, and then he does it one more time. He uses the Rakasha's soul, and Raian's just like, show me what you got, you little shit. And he aims up, lines up, and he's like, finally, the time to use the Touch of Death, and slam Rising Dragon Touch of Death from the Long Clan style. Now, this is where Raian's like, alright, you know, you got pretty, you know, I'll admit it, you went from trash. Okay, so, like, the way he says it is, you went from trash to slightly less trash. You're still trash. You know what I mean? So, Raian, this is his ultimate technique, the one that's supposed to get anywhere. It actually managed to touch Raian, but so much more damage was done to Ryuki, and boom, he goes down. And that's where Ryuki's like, wait, what the hell? He's not even breathing heavy. Like, he's not even broken a real sweat yet. I just used my best moves, my ultimate technique on him, and now I'm down for the count. And Raian's just like, you managed to touch me. It was like an Escanor thing, like, oh, you managed to hit me. Good for you. You still lost. You know, and it's just like, wow. Now, this is where Raian ends up taking so much for the man-to-man bullshit that Koga brought up. Yeah, these are our MCs. Yeah, sure they are. And because he immediately, like, Raian's not even once again ready or anything like that. So much for Koga, and it's very, oh, we're going to do this honorably man-to-man. Nah, he jumped Raian with an Iron Breaker right away, trying to like catch him off guard. It apparently did, but he shook off most of the damage immediately. Like, he actually did get a hit, a cheap shot, basically a sucker punch Iron Breaker off on Raian, but Raian managed to shake off most of the damage, and it was like, yeah, no, that's not doing anything either. And, you know, Ryuki acknowledges that, like, he slipped it, even being caught unawares, he slipped it, you know, and deflected the damage to his face. And Koga's just like, you know, and it's like, oh my god, like, that took a lot out of my arm, even to pull off that punch. And it's just like, what have you done? You know what I mean? Like, what are you? What are you made of? And Raian's just like, well, seems like you're going to be a little bit more fun than I thought. Alright, yep. Well, you're in luck, because training wheels are off. Now let's have some fun, bitches. You know, and it's just like, that's the end of the chapter. So an incredibly short chapter, but that's the chapter. And there's not much more to say. This went exactly how anybody with half a brain cell should have expected it to go. You see, because you can argue that it's bad writing when it comes to Ryuki and Koga as our main characters. You can argue that this is Raian glazing, right? You can argue a lot of parts, but the fact of the matter is, if you've been reading both of these series for this long, was it going to go down any other way? And if it had, for whatever reason, been any different than this, people would have complained nonetheless. I would have been one of them, saying that Koga and Ryuki should not be able to hold a candle to cure Raian, and they can't, because they should not be able to. You know? It'd be like them going up against Kuroki, or Gao Lang, or Agito, or any of these guys. Like, they are not going to hold a candle to the top, to the best of the best. You know what I mean? They are going to kick their ass. The fact of the matter is, sure, they trained. Sure, they've used this, like, Ryuki has unlocked some of the mysteries of the Long Clan style techniques. I mean, great. They have elevated their position. They've gotten stronger, but within their own tier, or maybe a few steps up into the next tier. But they were never close to the top of S tier to begin with. So this is entirely exactly what was expected. So even though you can once again argue like the bad writing and stuff like that, I argue, you know, okay, but I don't give a shit about the supposed main characters anyways. I don't dislike them. I don't necessarily care for them and whine every time their development hasn't caught up to the real main character of Oma. You know, once Oma came back, Koga and Ryuki were no longer the main characters, and people have taken, that was in like chapter 50. It's 300, that's over 250 chapters later, and people have yet to accept the fact that the moment Oma came back, Koga and Ryuki were no longer the protagonists of this story. You know, so you can whine and complain all you want about that, but fact of the matter is that they're just shoehorned in here and stuff. And then you could say this is a waste of a chapter as a result, and it's just Raian glazing and stuff like that. But I like Raian. I like seeing him be a maniac. I like seeing him just fucking go to town on these supposed, oh, we are so much stronger now. No, you're not. You know, you're not in our league. You're not in our class. You've never been in our league. You know, and you're still not. So sit down, children. Let the adults handle the business, right? So, you know, the same thing basically happened with KVP, and I didn't see a lot of people complaining about that at first. So, then again, I wasn't caught up at the time, so I'm not really sure how people felt like on that one week to week. But yeah, this the art was fine. I like Raian. Chapter was a little short. It went exactly as I expected, and I don't know what else anybody else could have expected from this chapter, so I'm totally fine with it. Good chapter. Not, you know, groundbreaking, but good chapter. It was an enjoyable read for my Wednesday. So, what do you guys think, though? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And this was a shorter one, but, you know, it was a short chapter. They fought. They got their ass kicked. End of review. Alright? So have a good one, everyone. Sayonara.